out the name of the company, and Bayrak gave a grant of 50 lakhs, and he also got a seat.
So I think what we have been able to do it with the partners like IKP and other incubation network, the ensemble of partners, we have been able to make that impact for spurring the innovation, spurring or inculcating the culture of entrepreneurship in the country. And I think all organization, all colleagues put together, the policy, the support from Department of Biotechnology, who created Bayrak to begin with. So this has made a fundamental change, and this has gone through a lot of granting aid to build that bottom of the pyramid of innovation, so as to say. So there is a sustained pipeline of entrepreneurs, startups now. Where I look this entire ecosystem is that the progression to the next level of even startups who have reached to the market, their ability to scale is limited due to follow-on funding, which is little less compared to, let's say, Europe or North American ecosystem. So Series A and beyond, there's a large void. So impact investments in certain social innovations or non-social innovations, but it can create a societal or global country level larger impacts. That is a much higher hurdle, right? So we are trying to build some models. I was telling Ajay, we have fund of funds to encourage private VCs to come forward, invest in biotech startups. We have launched Bio Angels, which also encourages HNIs, early stage investors, angels to come and utilize that platform to invest. And those are, I think, also avenues where the patient capital is there, because the syndicate investment. But I think the ecosystem, I'm very upbeat to the scale and size of India's ecosystem can achieve in next few years, or let's say a decade or so. We can become a very formidable contender in the space worldwide. And the problems are not limited to the geographies. COVID is one example, right? It kind of placed itself equally to all, developed as well as developing countries. So India's ecosystem could make an impact by providing COVID vaccines made in India, and $5 one dose vis-a-vis $25 one dose. And 1.6 billion people got immunized. So we potentially saved close to 40 billion USD dollars as an import substitution that we have done. But I think we need many such examples, and all the startups who are putting their efforts together for solving one particular challenge, they require a lot of support, funds, beyond funds, and I think as I think the topic of this panel discussion is how to support and how to find alternates, right? Direct VC funding, CSR, HNIs, angels, grants. I think there is a mix of this, and maybe strategic investments or catalytic investments, as Shama was referring to. So all these could actually pave way. So I didn't want to end it like this, but you've made it. Any questions to the panel before we end? I think Ambuj is raising hands on the other side. Otherwise, I'll convey my.
So with this, we wrap up the technical sessions. We will now start off with the awards and validatory function.
Ambuj, you want to join us?
We'll start in the next 10 to 15 minutes. A cup of coffee is in order. And then the chief guest, Jay Shanjan will be here. He's outside? Okay.
ये water bottles में use वाली निकाल रहे हैं.
Exactly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Could you please take your seats? We are on the final home stretch, as they say. So it'll be great if all of you can take your seats. Join us inside. We have signing of memorandum of understanding and then the valedictory session. So if you can take your seats, we will get started right away. important even for all of us because it signifies our partnership with institutions and really enabling the next.
I have to say hi to my friend.
The first memorandum of understanding is with Sanumati. May I request Mr. Anil Kumar to join us, please? Hello, sir. Thank you. Someone has said, okay.
Yeah, after a long time.
So, someone that...
I have to also say a few. A very good afternoon to all of you. This is the last program and I see the hall full even now, and that's very exciting. You know, we have 4 MOUs to sign, as Sridhar mentioned. The first one is with a company called Samunnati. The reason that we are ultimately signing with my ex-colleague, I want you, Anil, you have to come and say what you do. You do fantastic work, I know, but you have to say what you do.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to be here and also meeting Dr. Raghunandan after maybe 20 years, doctor. And I was a 26-year-old boy when I met his father, Dr. Rajamani, in the front office of ICICI Bank.
Yes.
Right, and it was such a privilege to be, to make markets work for smallholder farmers in the 31 space, mentored by people like Dr. Nachiket Moore in ICICI Bank and IFMR. Rural and the agri landscape from the hinterland, as they say, from the ground up. So the entity is basically looking at engaging in the entire value chain of agriculture, from the pre-harvest to the cultivation as a process to the post-harvest, with the farmer at the center. And how do we working off the smallholder farmers is the belief. We often talk about the fragmented land holding of smallholder farmers and smallholder farmers having less than 2 hectares of land. But the reality is the entire agri ecosystem is also fragmented, right? We have inputs as one category, we have the post-harvest as the category, then we have banks and financial institutions as one category, we have the research centers as one category, then we have the agri-advisory services and the startups as another category. But if you double-click on each of them, the categories have subcategories, subcategories have further I can just give one example without belaboring the point. If you double-click on inputs, you have seeds, crop protection chemicals, and farm equipment. When you have the entities that are in the seed replication, each of them looking at engaging with the smallholder players and agri receivers with a dimension to keep the farmer at the center. And this day is an import manager, a youngster looking up to ma'am's guidance. IKP, it's a privilege and an honor. We look forward to walk together under the in the footsteps of who would be nurtured as part of this MOU. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Sharma from Absolute, Dr. Shivam Sharma from Absolute, a precision agri-tech company. Dr. Shivam Sharma. Can you please introduce
driven company. So our objective is to basically bring science to agriculture, make the agriculture more scientific, more predictable, more better. And we are here basically looking at innovations which will create the agri-tech to be much better, looking at the intersection between pharma and agriculture. So just share that we are also willing to facilitate companies.
Thank you, sir. It is music to our Saptarishi Chatterjee from Admas University. Dr. Chatterjee? Yeah. We'd appreciate it if you can introduce your university.
Good evening, everyone. It's my proud privilege and as a mentorship. And I also thank BIDA for innovation and entrepreneurship in the region. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Ms. Deepanvita Chattopadhyay Madam for allowing us to sign the MOU and transferring the technology to the industry. It's a great service to the country. A big round of applause to IKP for this wonderful job. And V8AP will work together with IKP in this journey, and I am sure that this MOU will be definitely fruitful for the V8AP University, IKP, and the entire country. Thank you very much.
So, very happy to say that with a lot of renewed interest, we are now working very closely with several agriculture. So I'm very proud. And regarding the MOUs with academic institutions, we of course have MOUs with academic institutions in Andhra Pradesh to see how we build the regional ecosystems. So thank you, everyone. Thanks. And we really look for now, Sridhar, it's now the prize distribution for the startups? Yes. What do you want to announce?
So before we go to the prize distribution session, unfortunately I could not make it yesterday. So seriously? I thought, yeah. Thank you.
You should be okay with everything. So don't worry. People are waiting for the prizes.
The problem is that it's going to be a mega download, but we try to make it fast. That we have 5G in the picture. So it all started with a keynote. Then you had Professor Uday Desai coming in and talking about the entire landscape of how data is managed and what are the opportunities out there.
One Health, I know. So One Health is something that the key takeaway that I picked up from talking to all the stakeholders was it should. So I think we must be prepared for the risk that is coming with climate change and not wait for climate change to happen. I think that was the area. One key thing is we should not necessarily work in silos, but have a database, that's a central database that is accessible to all experts across all.
Close to about 80 startups. These are startups which are divided into the pharma, medtech, agri-tech, and of course industrial biotech section.
Some really exciting technologies.
Exactly.
This is something that was interesting because one of the key things that people picked up in all of these things, and you know, we have our reporters on the ground who give us all the up-to-date information, volumes, and that allows people to start investing and actually growing the business. There was also the export to emerging economies, but with similar regulation in quality, where there's a multi-device, medical device, single audit program, right? So the MD-SAP, very similar to that, can be suppliers to reduce input material costs. That's what our reporters...
Interesting. I mean, you have a field of reporters, I can see. So then, exactly. Let me guess, do you have anything on agri-tech?
We use that got signed today, which again talked about funding, talked about partnerships, and that is what was discussed, because agri-tech areas, funding opportunity was industries should give them guidelines. So what are the quality frameworks? What do you want us to do? I think that conversation needed to be better. I think that's something that was there. And also, in terms of, please, Doctor.
So, the session on digital healthcare actually went across. It started off with a keynote on regulatory, and we saw a lot of core language, you know, jargons around the regulatory piece. I think that was very best start for the day. And then there were 6 sessions. You had sessions on care pathways, redesigning care pathways, where the increases, your care pathways should tend to evolve. Health systems, where we had a fantastic fireside chat where the entire focus was saying, you want to have a health systems understanding, you've got to look at other industries as well. We then went to evidence labs, and we had a fantastic session where the idea of looking at validating digital healthcare solutions, and whether we need a process, a framework, and a lab to basically run this through. 3 different sectors, and it was well moderated in a way to say, how do you get these new business models in place, and how does this impact neo-financing structures? The rest 2 sessions you have, and it really creates an impact. Philanthropy space, impacting the entire piece around saying, continuum
the room, depending on which animal you like, were all the workshops that happened and all the roundtables that happened. Actually, a lot of wonderful discussions, which we will come out as a report later on. New incubation systems to look at. A lot of workshops on tech transfer, how do you sign agreements, how do you actually pitch to investors, a whole range of things that is there. That's really the detail. But for me, you know, and thanks Ambuj for update, that's going to come up shortly.
Sure. Thank you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the entire...
Before you start that, I have to not there. You know, in 22 years, this I think is the most gratifying and satisfying recognition we got. An orchid. And so Vishu says, I have to invite Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, please.
We will start with the
and I think both of you should be actually handing over.
We have the first in the biopharma section, and particular one which they are the price of 50,000 rupees, which will be transferred online. Bikers.
To thank particularly Birak for giving the BIG, to thank particularly Birak for giving the BIG grant with which we have started this journey. And I would like to thank IKP for hand-holding us and taking us throughout this journey. Particularly Deepanvita madam and Visu has given a lot of support. I really appreciate them. And also I would like to thank University of Hyderabad giving us the space.
And next is your Advanced Therapeutics, Dr. Jagan Mohan Reddy and Dr. Aparna. So they will be receiving 30,000 rupees cash prize for developing.
Our apoptosis kit into the market, and getting this recognition is a huge thing for us. Thank you, Bayanesh. Thank you, IKP. Thank you, University of Hyderabad, and thank you all friends.
There is a special mention for Lamarck Biotech. I request Dr. Vaibhav Bhatia to join the stage. Yes, ma'am. And Lamarck Biotech is developing cold chain independent insulin.
I love this 30 seconds.
Love 30 seconds, yes.
Special mention and interacting again with everybody. Last 3 years we got Birak Big, which really supported us, and IKP supporting us, and then VIT TBI, who has been providing space for some time now. So I can't complain. It's been amazing journey, and I wish a lot of people join us, a lot of people work hard in this direction. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And I invite Loopworm team, Mr. Ankit. Ankit actually introduced to IKP at the Bairak Regional Innovation Center program when he is a student with a poster, and he received a 10,000 rupees prize. And then he received a BIG for 50 lakhs, and this month I think last month they have closed a 26 crores investment from the private investors.
So good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you for the award. I'll just share a brief anecdote of like how we started. I was just passing out from IIT Roorkee 2019. And first I came to Chitkara University for an event hosted by Dr. Visu and his team. And that's where different sorts of industries. It was just on paper. That's where we got the encouragement from the team at IKP to basically messed it up in call 14, we messed it up in call 15, we got it in call 16, right? And which basically helps young entrepreneurs like us to basically reach the next stage, think big, and act.
This is Parishodhana Technologies. I invite Dr. Satyanarayana Kuchbatla. You might have seen the 1 billion mass social initiative and various cold and hot electricity-free solutions at the stall. I invite
if I'm here today, it's Dr. Visu's proactively seeking people. I think the previous in-person event of IKMC is when he called me here. At that time, Parishodhana is some company sitting somewhere, but funded by Grand Challenges Canada. We were doing the work. IKP really got us into this ecosystem. And the billion social mass that Dr. Visu just mentioned, there is an inspiration here. Dr. Chintan Vaishnav, sitting somewhere in MIT, he was thinking about how to create employment for the women in this country. So he inspired us. I'm sure many of you had your work closed during pandemic, but with his inspiration and the work we have done, not only Parishodhana work every day during pandemic lockdowns, but there were 500 women across 16 states in this country. They got the employment for 200,000 hours approximately, and supported by IKP and Bairak. Thank you all for the opportunity, and this really is dedicated to those women and their resilience in working there. Thank you.
Exactly where is he located? No. Where is your office, plant, everything? Where do you do? Hyderabad. Hyderabad, but where?
near Miapur. Next is IGN Biotech, a special mention in the category. I invite Dr. Nitya Kalyani. I didn't see her around. Okay, so she's from Chennai, Center for Crescent Innovation Center. And next is Denome for developing lamp-based diagnostics. I invite Mr. Sujoy Dev.
When we started off, IKP played a big role along with AIC, getting the BIG grant. Then, I mean, startup is always... So, Denome is operating on the space of molecular diagnostics, more in the point-of-care sector. We are using synthetic biology as genomics as our core principle. Cutting short, we are at the MVP stage, running our clinical trials. We are in a mission to make a global company, and I think Telangana is one of the best places with such a great ecosystem. And IKMC, I mean, amazing, seeing all the stall, it is a lot of encouragement. Yeah, we are placed at AIC. Yeah, we are happy to collaborate. And a short note, we are raising our seed round. We have a lead investor. Anyone who wants to come in this round, we are.
So with this, we complete pharma and biopharma. For developing translucent solar panels where crops can be grown below the solar panels.
Actually, this award should go to my co-founder. She left early to catch a flight. And also, I want to thank AgHub, Dr. Kalpana ma'am and Davil sir. They have been very instrumental in getting the solar and the agri married together. Thank you very much, and looking forward to see you all again next year. Thank you.
Balaji Elangovan and team. So they are developing microalgae cultivation for micronutrient preparations.
IKP and BIRAC for all things they have done. I need to have a special mention. The team of IKP has been working very hard for the past 2 days. We could see all results, and they are taking care of us very in a good way. So congratulations and thank you to whole team of IKP, and a special.
Next, I would like to invite Greenthorn Technologies, Dr. Sarika Gupta and team. So they are developing microbial consortium.
I take an opportunity to thank the entire ecosystem at IKP, and we are having a hand-holding support in all the tits and bits, whatever we are coming across in our journey since Idea Exposition Special Recognition Award in 2019, when I first met Dr. Vishu, and ever since we are having a hand-holding support and motivation to move ahead, starting from lab to be industry ready, and now we are standing at an early stage revenue. So I'm very happy to share that they made us to stand where we are standing tall and high, just because of the motivation and drift that has been there. So we are here from Banastali Vidyapeeth, Rajasthan. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, sir. Next, I have digital health category. I would like to invite next FitJob Logi.ai team, Priyanjit and team. So they are developing AI-based solutions. They started with
IKP and BIRAC for helping us. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to, and the best part is we are already into the market. We are working with governments. We are working with large players like Apollo's to take the solution. Someone pitched about raising funds. We are also raising a seed round.
And IKP will be a co-investor with you. And next, and they will be receiving 50,000 for the first prize. And the second prize goes to Solitaire Initiatives teams. May I invite Professor Soumyajit Roy. They are developing improved oxygen generator. Team, please join. And they will be receiving 30,000 rupees towards the second prize. Yep. Thank you.
It's a real honor and a pleasure, and it's a moment of great gratification. I'm extremely thankful to the IKP team, and also as well as to the excellent team that backs us with the effort. The journey is just starting, and we hope that we will have more news. But what is priceless is that we saw smiles and lives saved on several faces with our science and technology. So I again thank IKP for this honor and the privilege. And
thank you. Next, I would like to invite Aerobiosis Innovations team from IIT Hyderabad, CFHE, for developing efficient and affordable IoT-based ventilator.
Good evening, everyone. So I'd like to say a small story. Back in 2019, when we were like two young founders were aiming to this, but then Deepanvita ma'am pitched the idea about the differential lung ventilation. She really liked the idea. She said, you go for it. If you think there is a need for it, go for it. We did. and then COVID came in. It validated a problem about lack of ventilators in India and affordable ones specific for India. And then that's when we came into the market, and then now we have sold 60 plus ventilator. Thank you, Deepanita ma'am, for the support. And also, I'd like to thank BIRAC, Department of Science and Technology, and the incubator where we were part of, Dr. Renu John and Dr. Ambut sir for the constant support, and Dr. Vishu sir. Thank you so much.
How many funders are there who funded actually Geotronics team?
Good evening, everyone. So I would like to thank IKP in Bangalore and IKP for providing us this opportunity to get to know people. It's a combination of both hardware and software solution. So would like to, and also I would like to thank IAC, my professor, Dr.
So when I was talking about Geotronics, I mentioned several funding agencies. I just presumed everybody knows I handle BIG, Kavach, we were interacting with USAID, so I just presumed. So Geotronics have received the BIG grant, they have received the Kavach award, and also the support from the USAID, just to clarify.
Hello everyone. Thank you first of all for recognizing our work and our work. We are working on developing a treatment solution for women having urine, empowering them by making it easy for them to take control of their pelvic health.
Thank you, Komal. And the Translate team. So they're developing a chair which most of you might have seen, which helps in sitting and standing with very less efforts. Demo and making a video on that actually. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, this wonderful journey for these people to announce that this particular chair has the market ready. We have thousands of orders, pre-sales are already there. It's just waiting for the prototype to go, and we are stopping because of safety, right? It's a lot of stress and tension running a startup. And at one point of time, it almost happened that they were doing AstraZeneca. Entities from CPD Med were rejuvenated just because of big. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Last one. Okay, for some.
Promoted to Spiri, and then Spiri said that no, you have to go back. So Big 16, thank you, you awarded us, and it has been a great journey all through. So I believe that our prototype should be ready and we should be hitting it to the bucket very, very soon. So thank you very much once again. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of the interesting session. I would like to mention that many people were asking when we are making this, is it for the BIG awardees, BIG Kavach awardees? So it happened to be that most of the 70% of the startups came are funded through BIG program, and sincere thanks to BIRAC, DST for the Kavach. With this, I would like to say big thanks to all the funding agencies and innovators for taking all the things to the market. Best wishes to all of you.
Industries and IT and several other things. I must say, BT, though it does not appear, it's there. Pharma, BT, everything. Where did you like?
Deepanvita ji, all the distinguished, the 16th edition of IKMC has been chosen, enabling in many ways, and the pandemic itself was an example on how our approve the kind of talent also very important, but is manifest at its best. So Hyderabad is one location which that they have established, many of which are represented in this room. People like have affiliations with, spoke about one of it, to startups, encourage them to, in the last 4 years, which appreciating national attention, technology leaders, Mr. Mittal, looking at the theme. One is to be the work European nations are doing it. There are lots of possibilities. There are life sciences. Novartis manufacture nothing, but this 9,000 does the same. So this is digital manufacture nothing, but this 9,000 does the same. So this is digital health mission. Is also embarked. All these things can be compiling the also embarked. All these things can be compiling the health 57 fields. We will be very willing, more than willing is one of the challenges. We will be very willing, more than willing is one of the challenges. A cluster of all the institutions who are startups like delighted about the success of this year's the kind of benefits one gets.
In the forefront of all the incubators and startups for the last, of course says, Dipanita, sit down, don't talk about me. But if I may have retired 2 years back, but we really don't think you have retired. You are one of us, and you'll be called for all these meetings. So with this,
Dr. Chintan Vaishnav, Dr. Manish Diwan. Well, I'll try to keep it light. Sunday evening, see, my situation is different. I retired 2 years ago. I get tired of me sitting at home. So one of the, when I entered this room, I saw the double anchor. The thing was, I missed a beautiful girl. Let me, young at heart, young in age, let me start with, since it is Hyderabad, Bharat Biotech came to us in TDB. There was an application for support, pandemic, but I remember, because my children were in school, they insisted that all four of you, so we deposited 6,400 rupees. I won't say that we couldn't afford it, but it was a pinch on the pocket for the subsequent booster shots, and we never went for that. What Shanta Biotech and Beecham was asked the board, do you trust me? Dr. Kalam said, yes, we trust you. You do a visit, give us your report. Dr. Mashelkar at that point of time saw the potential in the company. He even overlooked some of the negatives which they had. I was talking to him about this yesterday. Both Shanta Biotech and Bharat Biotech were supported by TDB by rules, by frameworks, and by those very tight compartments. And we did support some of these innovators. Well, the Subramani Ramchandrappa. Request Dipanvita, in case I overshoot time, please drag me and make me sit there. Made out of paper. So, which the quality was, because it was coated with a hygroscopic enzyme, coated with a nanotech-based fragrance, which would last for 3 years. So we had a partnership with Intel, and he won the India contest. He landed at San Francisco airport with a bunch of these flowers. Here, where are you going? So why are you carrying these natural flowers and agriculture produce inside you? They're smelling like real flowers. I can even call their botanist. Dissection was done. Evening he went to a florist where he wanted to pick up a similar. He said, come on man, you want one flower and you have already taken 20 minutes. I have to, and he could, since he was a man from the trade, he could spot that this of these flowers, tell me the price. So he said his cost of manufacture was about fishing community, and because they have nimble hands, main part of it. So he said 10,000 to me. So now I'm just 4 slides. First one was the certificate from that quarantine authority. The third one was the received from those people. He replaced it with 4 slides. He was here yesterday. He was in 4 slides. He could establish 2. That's your own boy of Hyderabad. It was a privilege to meet him. We have set up a panel with them.
7 minutes, please.
All right. Between 4 cities rather. It is Bangalore, number 1, 2, 3, 4. They India number 1. We are already number 3 at. Thank you.
Whose company? Subramani's company at IKP. So this is the beautiful way that the ecosystem works. Kind of work they're doing in 134 countries. But I think immune therapy from IIT Bombay, Immune Act. Not acquired, it's a strategic investment. Fermenter.
Fermenter. So Subbu is now building it for 2 million liters.
And that's why his speeches are so, remembered the time, 1800 and something, to fly the Franklin. Somebody in the crowd said, what's the use of a balloon? Of what a child can give, you won't understand the possibility of a balloon. Not about today, it's about tomorrow. It's about the next. I think this is, and Mr. Jayashranjan, we had 150 speakers this time, including, of course, our chief guest, Dr. Mashelkar, is gone for his flight, and Dr. Manish Diwan, and this out. So thank you so much. I think I think this is throughout the year, and see you next year at IKMC 2023. Thank you so much. One picture with Mr. Mittal and Mr. Jayashranjan.
My position is always fixed. Most competitor. You have to come.
We have signed an MOU, you have to come.
Bhujanga.
You cannot escape. We can see.